Hey everybody, I'm Dave with Growing the Home Garden. Today I want to show you a little trick that you can use to help increase the amount of plants that you're purchasing from a box store or a nursery to help increase what you have in the garden. Because sometimes you can find a really gorgeous looking plant like this and propagate more of it very simply. You don't even have to wait for roots to form and stuff like that. So there's two things. Sometimes you'll have a plant where they plant multiple seeds in a pot. This one is not like that. This didn't happen that way. But a lot of times you can automatically divide them into pieces. So you could have 3 different plants coming in one. So what you look for is down here around the base. If there's at least 3 different plants in there, then you know, purchase it, and then you've got 3 more instant plants for your garden, which will bush out very quickly, especially when they're an annual like a petunia. But in this case, I've got a slightly different thing going on here. I'm going to see if I can pull this up to the camera so you guys can see that. If you look way down in there along those stems, you can see lots of little teeny tiny white roots forming on the stem areas. And so to capitalize on that, all I need to do is get a little pair of snips in there. And then I'm going to come back in and cut toward the base of the plant, and I'm going to snip off a little segment, just like this. And if you note there's already a good root coming off of it here. There's several little stub of roots right there. Now, this might hurt somebody's feelings to do this, but I'm going to actually come in and trim off all the foliage here to compensate, because these little roots are not going to be enough for this little plant to thrive. So I'm going to cut that all back. All those flowers, any buds that might appear here. And I'll probably thin out the roots a little bit. Or I'm sorry, the stems on the side, not the roots. We want the roots kept alone. And it's starting to rain on my head now. So anyway, I'm going to show you this right there. So I'm going to trim that back quite a bit. And then I'm going to take this whole piece of the cutting and I'm going to put that into some soil for it to grow on into a little pot. And as it grows, it's going to eventually bush out to be much more like this plant. And you notice here, you can hardly even tell I did anything to this. So I'm going to do one more of those just the same way. Find a really good section of it to do that with. And maybe not. Maybe I'll just get a small one. Just a little snip. A teeny tiny one right there that I can nurture and grow. And you see those roots right there? And that's going to become a whole nother petunia just like this. And this one I'll go on and plant in the garden. And I can even take cuttings of that later. After these flowers have finished blooming, before the next round of flowers, I can start taking some cuttings, do some rooting hormone, get them to root, grow into little cuttings like this, and then growing them out. Annuals grow very quickly. I should be able to get a pretty good sized plant here by the midsummer. So that's what we're doing today. I've got 1, 2, 3 plants to put in the garden off of that. So anyway, that's just a little tip. So if you go to your stores and you see little roots that are already forming on the stems, know that you can cut those and turn them into new plants for yourself to grow in your garden. So anyway, I'm Dave with Growing the Home Garden. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe. Look forward to showing you some more gardening. Thanks, have a good one.